Thank you for tuning in to Beastwatch News News Brief at the most current and comprehensive Bible prophecy website on the internet, beastwatchnews.com. All Bible prophecy news, all the time. Stay tuned for news. Today's scripture reading is Lamentations 3:26. It is good that a man should both hope and quietly wait for the salvation of the Lord. In Israel, Prime Minister NETANYAHU issued a statement reaffirming Israel's commitment to the two-state solution, refuting a statement made earlier in the day by his Economy and Trade Minister Naftali Bennett, who said the idea that a Palestinian state would be established within the land of Israel has come to an end. The statement caused an uproar in diplomatic circles. Israel has officially declared the death of the two-state solution, declared Chief Palestinian negotiator Saeb Erekat. However, Netanyahu gave an exclusive interview with Reuters in which he said foreign policy is shaped by the Prime Minister, and my view is clear. I will seek a negotiated settlement where you'd have a demilitarized Palestinian state that recognizes the Jewish state. Accordingly, Israeli Housing Minister Ariel announced on Tuesday that Israel has effectively frozen all housing starts in settlements in the West Bank and East Jerusalem. He said this is a goodwill gesture to assist the U.S. effort to restart negotiations with the Palestinians. In Syria, the first European and NATO heavy arms for the Syrian rebels have arrived. NATO and a number of European governments, most significantly the UK, have started airlifting heavy weapons to the Syrian rebels in Aleppo to fend off a major Syrian army offensive there. They disclosed that the first shipments were landed on Monday night, June 17th, and early Tuesday in Turkey and Jordan. The shipment contained anti-air and anti-tank missiles as well as recoilless 120mm cannons mounted on jeeps. From there, they were transferred to rebel forces in southern Syria and Aleppo in the northwest. Sources reported that the first weapons reached rebel-held positions in Aleppo early Tuesday. More than 2,000 Hezbollah troops are standing by to enter that decisive contest between Assad's army and the opposition for control of Syria's second most important city. In addition, 300 U.S. troops and one Patriot missile system has been deployed along the Syrian border. Bashar al-Assad sent along a warning to Europe saying, "Oh no, you didn't." But here's another workaround that has come from Obama. And I say that knowing that Obama is very good friends with Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia has sent anti-aircraft missiles to the Syrian opposition as well. Saudi Arabia announced that it is providing anti-aircraft missiles to Syria's insurgency, confirming that country's long-standing policy of supporting the ouster of Bashar al-Assad. According to a Gulf source cited by Reuters, the kingdom has been supplying shoulder-fired weapons on a small scale to the Free Syrian Army as of 2 months ago, although the country's foreign ministry will not confirm this claim. However, 70 bodies of Saudi fighters have been returned to Saudi Arabia from Syria. And under the category of the U.S. warring against its own citizens, NORAD's Falcon Virgo exercise was rolled out in D.C. on the 18th. On June 17th, that was yesterday, the Office of the Assistant Secretary of Defense for Public Affairs announced a NORAD exercise for the Washington, D.C. area to be held between June 18th, that's today, and June 19th. There is no reason for the NORAD drill because on 9/11 NORAD was commanded to stand down. So this is nothing more than the Pentagon window dressing for martial law. In Brazil, what started out as small protests about higher bus fares has swelled into a nationwide and massive anti-government demonstration. Last night, more than 100,000 protesters filled the streets of Rio de Janeiro, while an additional 65,000 hit the streets of Sao Paulo. Under U.S. and global economy, emerging markets risk an interest rate shock once the U.S. Federal Reserve and other Western authorities start to withdraw global liquidity, the World Bank has warned. When the Fed turns off the tap, it's the rest of the world that will suffer. The world economy should brace itself for a slowing of stimulus by the Fed, if history is any guide. And the World Economic Group has called for a global exchange of tax information to fight tax evasion. Unable to agree on Syria at the G8 meeting, they turned their attention on how to use tax evasion to create a global taxing authority. Japan has announced a new banking program. It's called bail-in, in which the investors of the banks will be called on to bail out the bank should they go under, and they are. Bank account holders, though, are the investors. You see, they want you to think this does not apply to you, so they use words that are not in your everyday vocabulary, like investor and bail-in. But all that means to you is that you, the investor with the account, will bail out the banks. Under White House news, in a live chat with Guardian readers, NSA whistleblower Edward Snowden said that U.S. leaders cannot cover this up by jailing or murdering him. The NSA whistleblower warned that the truth about the extent of this surveillance carried out by the U.S. authorities would emerge even if he was eventually silenced. Sharyl Attkisson also shared some updates on her computer hacking investigation. She said that the computers just turned themselves on and off during the night. The White House is threatening to veto an anti-abortion bill presented by House Republicans that would ban almost all abortions after the baby reaches the age of 20 weeks. Now look, let's be reasonable about this and look at it from Obama's point of view. The Muslim momser has got to have some way to kill American children. He can't just call for throwing them into the rivers after they're born, and most certainly he can't call on our military to kill all the babies under 2 years old. His only alternative at this point, to meet his agenda, is to kill them at any point along the way before they're born. This is Beastwatch News Daily Update. See these and other stories at beastwatchnews.com. Bible prophecy news every day except Shabbat.